Hello, and welcome to the SPA podcast, the Serenity, Purpose, and Accountability podcast, where we get to focus on getting to your place of serenity by walking in your purpose and staying accountable. I am Yemi C, the spa connoisseur, and I'm so excited to be here today. I must confess, I'm a little bit nervous because this is the first episode I'm recording alone, and I guess I'm just nervous to see how everything goes. So when I started talking to people about this podcast, several people were asking me, what are you going to call it? What is it going to be about? And when I broke down the spa podcast, it just made sense. Number one, because anyone who knows me knows that I love going to the spa and the entire spa experience. That's why I'm called the spa connoisseur. And also because I was able to pull an acronym out of it that just ties to what I'm about, which is serenity, purpose, and accountability. So that is what we are talking about today. The first part, which is the S, and it's serenity. I thought it was important for us to kind of lay a foundation of what serenity is and what it means. And, in general terms, serenity is pretty much just a state of being calm or at peace. It's a place of being untroubled and relaxed and just being in your comfort zone. Serenity can be taken literally or metaphorically. And depending on which one you use, it will vary. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit today. So when I think of serenity, literally, I think of a couple of things. I immediately think of a resort spa because I love the ambiance of the spa, especially at resorts. It's almost as if you're going to a serene place where you can just relax and be at peace and take a nap if you need to, or just relax and think about whatever it is that's on your mind at that time. I think about soft music playing. I think about candles being lit. I think about a waterfall, or at least the sound of a waterfall. That's pretty relaxing for me. I think of aromatherapy and, just the scent of lavender. I think of so many different things. It's pretty much where I feel comfortable and where I feel at ease. Now, I will say that when I'm thinking of my place of serenity, one of the most important things outside of aromatherapy that is key is the temperature. I want to be comfortable, so not too hot, not too cold. If I'm on a beach, I'm thinking of, just wind blowing on my toes, digging into the sand. It's so many things that take me to my place of serenity. And once I'm there, you will see a huge smile on my face. Now, when we think of serenity metaphorically, it's also important and it's key to know what that is for you. For me, it could be a place where I am mentally at peace of where I am in my life or in the different areas of my life, in my career, in my business, with my family. It's a place that I feel has order and things are in place. And sometimes it can be a place where I feel like I've progressed or I've accomplished a task, or even I'm able to function at my normal pace. That is the metaphorical place of serenity when I think of serenity. Um, I think it's important for everyone to have their own definition of serenity and what that means to them, because I think once you discover where or what your place of serenity is, you can map out a plan to help you get there and be at that place for a long period of time. Regardless of what is happening in your life, regardless of what is taking place, and regardless of like the chaos that is happening, when you're in your place of serenity, you can't be shaken because you're at a pace of, peace. I have to be honest, my serenity has changed over time and it has changed drastically. I can think back to when I was in high school, even though I may not have used the language or the term serenity, there was always a time in my life that I was striving to be better, striving to get to a particular place. And when I think back to when I was in high school, I remember my place of serenity was a specific GPA. That's where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be. And once I got there, the next step was graduating with honors. And, that was my next, place of serenity. It's very similar to a goal, but it's more than just checking something off the list. It's really about being in a place where you feel comfortable. And as I mentioned, it transitioned from, having a specific GPA to graduating with honors to, applying to universities and getting accepted into universities. And then when I got accepted, it was like, okay, I want to be able to get a scholarship. And then when I got a scholarship and it wasn't enough, I was like, my next place is to make sure that I have as little debt paying for school as possible. So my point is it changes over time. And I think it's important to recognize that and to be okay with that. Your place of serenity will change depending on the different stages you are in your life. I love redefining my place of serenity, and that process usually requires that I take a deep dive into my life and where I'm at and spelling out what serenity means at this very moment and at this time. And it has been helpful. It's been helpful because, it's normal for us to have different seasons or times where we're not at our best. We are not operating in the way we want to. We're not at peace. There's anxiety, there's tension, there's so much going on. But once I've identified that place of serenity, yes, I might still go through those different seasons of my life, but I'm able to find a way to get back to my place of serenity. And sometimes it's as simple as booking a 3 hour time slot at my favorite spa. Literally, it means I can go to a place for 3 hours, not worry about anything that's happening in the world, just focus on pampering myself, freeing my mind, and getting back to that place where I feel that I can operate at the utmost maximum of who I am. One of the things that I can never forget was the very first time I had a massage at a spa. I remember it clearly. I was in undergrad and it was actually a birthday gift from someone. It was a new experience. It was pretty nerve-wracking as I was preparing to go there because I had read up about, what happens at the spa and, your comfort level of how you would like to receive your treatment. But the one thing that I will never forget after getting the nerves out and building up the courage and the boldness to just walk into that room and say, okay, let's go there. I actually had a really, really, really refreshing experience. I remember feeling like I was floating, and I've never felt so relaxed in my life. I was actually a little disappointed that I have never I had never experienced, spa treatment like that before. And I just kept asking myself, what have I been doing all my life? But in all seriousness, it just took me to a place where I felt renewed, I felt refreshed, I felt rejuvenated, and I knew this was something that wasn't a desire of mine, but it was a requirement. It was something that I needed. I needed to go through that experience every so often because when I came out, I felt like I was on top of the world. I remember, dancing back to my apartment dorm and my roommates asking me if I was okay. And I just told them I had the most amazing session in my life. I will never forget the first time I went to the spa. And I loved it so much that when I could afford it, I made sure that it was part of my routine. That is what serenity means to me. Being able to identify that place that you feel rejuvenated, refreshed, energized, and able to take on the world. And it's important for us to go there every so often. Everyone's place of serenity is going to vary, just like mine did when I was much younger. For some, it might be, being in a comfortable home that you own. For others, it may be having specific people around you, like your loved ones or your children, who are your loved ones, but you know what I mean. Just having specific people around you. For others, it might be building good relationships with other people and building up your relationship with God. Your place of serenity is going to vary, but the most important thing is being able to identify what that is for you. I really, really want to encourage every single person listening today to find their place of serenity, be able to define it, make it clear, so that they're able to try or walk towards that place of serenity on a frequent basis. It's key. Once I discovered this, it almost unlocked so much in me that I didn't even know existed. So when I talk about my coaching practice, when I talk about some of the things that I love doing, I always incorporate serenity into whatever it is I do. And if there's no space for serenity, it makes me question if there's any space for me in that task or in that project. So please define your place of serenity, document what exactly it is and how to get there, and continuously work towards getting to your place of serenity. You will have so much peace when you're there. You'll have so much life when you're there, and you'll join me in encouraging other people to get there. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you have a better understanding of what your place of serenity is or what serenity is in general. One of the things that I read earlier in life, and this kind of sums up what a lot of people think serenity is, and I know many people have heard this prayer before, but I think it'll be good for me to just read it again because it might help you digest today's episode a little bit better. And it's called the Serenity Prayer. And it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as the pathway to peace, taking, as He did, this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that He will make all things right if I surrender to His will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy for Him forever and ever in the next. Amen. That's the Serenity Prayer. I hope that you find your place of serenity, and I would love to hear about it. So go ahead and leave a message in the comments. Let me know what you think, and shoot me an email so we can talk about it. I enjoyed sharing my place of serenity with you, and I hope you enjoy your path to getting there. Thank you. All right, Serenity Seekers, thanks again for joining me on the first solo episode of the Spa Podcast. Please don't forget to head over to my website, IamYummyC.com, to book some time to chat with me or to grab some goodies from the LSC shop. Please follow me on social media at IamYummyC. Also, don't forget to like this podcast, this video, and also subscribe. Bye-bye.